Hey folks, David Stewart here, doing a little review, not of this guitar, but of just the pickups which are in it. These are the Greg Koch signature Gristle tone set for Telecaster by Fishman Fluence. I put these in this guitar and it really resurrected it, and I had a couple of people ask for like a breakdown or review or demo of what you can do with these. Overall, I think they're great. If you are looking for a couple of good tones that are very, very classic Telecaster, you're going to get that out of this pickup set. And if you're wanting that with some of the advantages of active pickups, then that's what you're going to get. Those advantages include a low noise as well as a lower impedance. And the lower impedance, for most people, is not going to make too big a difference, but the lower noise certainly will. So you get all of the beauty of those single coil sounds, but without any of that 60 cycle hum. That's really what I was hoping to achieve when I was putting these in. They are active pickups. You don't need a 9-volt battery to power them, unlike most active pickups, but rather you plug them in to the bottom of the instrument. I'll show you real quick. There's a little USB port like you would plug into your phone on the bottom. So you plug it in. There's a lithium-ion battery on the inside. Charge it up, and it lasts for a really long time. I think I've only charged this guitar one time, and I've been playing it quite a bit. Now, if you're not familiar with Fishman Fluence pickups, their whole selling point is multiple voices, and that's what you get with this. You get the sound of what I would consider a classic, like 50s Telecaster sound. I had a 52 reissued Telecaster at one point, and so this sounds like that. That's if you have this button pressed, there's two controls, and then you get this extra button. So if you press that button down, you get the overwound sound, and if you have it unpressed, you get the classic 52 sound. And that classic 52 sound just sounds great for, a lot of clean playing. Just has a really beautiful, pristine tone. Even on the bridge pickup, it's nice and clear. And then when you press it down, you get a more overwound sound that is a little bit pushes the amp a little bit more. It's not just gain. There's a different there's a different profile to the sound. It's a little more mid-rangey. It's got a little more kind of punch to the upper mids that you'll hear. Kind of breaks up the amp a little bit. And if you turn that off, you get those classic Telecaster twang, or you can get something that's a little more stinky, right? But I think you can get a lot of sensitivity, a lot of great tone out of this neck pickup with that overwound sound, just playing a little more delicately with whatever you happen to be doing. So you can get a lot of great tones that are different. That's very thin. You get a little fatter tone, but very sensitive. That's the main thing that you're going to get with this. The questions that I would like to answer is, are the pickups worth it? Which is a complex question. And are they good? So my short answer is they're really, really good. I've really enjoyed playing them. It has definitely brought this guitar back from the dead. It was set up as like a controlless Esquire, which was cool, but I didn't really have a place in my setup right now for something like that. So this brought this guitar back from the dead and actually made it one of my favorite guitars to play, which is really saying something. Could you get the vintage sound with low noise elsewhere? Yes, you can. There's Fender noiseless. It's not as good as this. The best comparison is probably the EMG 52 set, which I actually think is really good, and it's a lot less money. So if you're looking for all the advantages that this would have with active pickups, low noise, classic sound that you would get from the 50s, then that T52 set available from EMG is probably really worth looking into. It is a good set. I've heard it multiple times. I was debating whether I was going to put that in or I was going to put these in. I got a deal on these, so I went with the Fishman Fluence. Another advantage of the Fluence over the EMGs is you don't have to take out the batteries. Now, you don't have to take anything off to change batteries. With the Telecaster, it's not that big a deal because you could just take the control plate off. It's 2 screws, put in a new battery. It's really not any more trouble than changing a battery on a normal EMG-equipped guitar that maybe has a battery compartment on the back of the instrument. But if you were considering a Stratocaster, for instance, changing out the battery on a Stratocaster can be quite a pain. Now, I have a little trick. So when I talk about the active pickups on my Strat, which I don't think you can see right now, they're over there somewhere, then I'll show you what I did with that so that I never have to take the pickguard off or lift up the corner to try to fish out the battery and change out the battery when it finally goes down. And I did a 24-volt mod on that guitar, which really is a great mod. You don't need that with these. They work fine without any kind of extra mod on them at all. Overall, I think they sound really good. So that's really the question. Do you want 2 good sounds, and do you want some of the advantages of active pickups? Some of the other advantages of active pickups that you may not think about is volume knobs that actually work. That's a linear volume roll-off. So most passive pickups, and the hotter the passive pickup, the worse this is, the volume roll-off tends to do just the high end, so you can't get these kind of shimmery tremolo effects. You know, you can just do that with your hand whenever you want to add a little tremolo. You can't get that shimmer with regular pots because it'll just sound like you're throwing mud on top of the tone over and over again, because what happens with regular pots is they first dial off the high end, then the volume drops, and then it's like nothing at the end. So it's not linear. This sounds like a linear pedal, you know. That's the pedal. Here's the volume knob. It's almost better with the volume knob, I think, than the pedal. So that's a morely linear volume pedal, and that's what I prefer to use for most things. I have other volume pedals that are traditional, roll off, and that works. The other thing about active pickups, and that's true for these, is that the tone knob actually works. So that's the other problem with passive pickups with a lot of the way the tone knobs are wired up, is you can either have a tone knob that just as soon as you touch it, the tone like turns into muddy garbage, or you can change out the capacitor so that you're just rolling the tone down and nothing is changing, or you have to roll it all the way off to get kind of any effect on the tone. And again, that's because the pots aren't linear. They're, you're using 250k ohm value pots, and they don't roll things off in a linear fashion. But in this case, your tone rolls off in a really linear fashion, so you can get some cool like wah effects, especially on this bridge pickup. Effect. Really cool. So those are some of the advantages that you'll get with this, is tone controls that actually work. Believe it or not, I used to take the tone pots out of guitars because I never used them. They were just not very useful to me for a long time. In this case, like, the tone pot's very useful, especially for the stuff that I do, and you can get just a lot of great effects with it. So yes, overall, I think these are a great set of pickups. I'm playing everything clean so you can really hear it. I could turn the amp off, and what you basically hear is this, the no amp sound at all. Still sounds pretty good. That middle pickup kind of quacky sound in the middle pickup, which I'm a big fan of on the Telecaster. You get some great sounds like that. that kind of quack. I like it. So get all of those great tones, 6 good sounds to start with, one for each of those positions, plus the button, which will change it from the 2 pickup voices. That's really good. That's a lot of different varieties with sound. If you were to wire it up with EMGs, with some of the EMG EQ pots, you could get a lot more variety of sound. But I'm kind of a fan of having everything full at 10. It sounds like a passive pickup at full 10. I don't have to roll off the volume or play with the tone, roll off the tone like maybe I might have to do with an EMG, like a standard EMG, not the T52 set. And I'm a fan of that. I like things that's like go directly to the tone that I like and find it and use it. And so that's been really, really useful and really fun to play around with. What's cool about these, the fact that they're also like low noise and all that other stuff, is they actually sound really good with high gain. I'll give you a quick high gain demo just to let you know what I'm talking about. We'll turn on the overround. Now, I actually think Telecasters sound pretty good with metal. I used to have a Telecaster set up to play metal, and I loved it because I could play these really clear thirds. So if you like to play thirds a lot, a Telecaster actually works really good with high gain. So those thirds actually end up sounding really nice and crystal clear, and you have a great lead sound without having to change channels or like change EQs too much. Nice bright, or you can dial it off a little bit. Dial the tone off, and you get a really overwound sound. So you can get a lot of great tones even for high gain metal stuff. So anyway, these are the Greg Koch signature set Gristle tone Telecaster pickups. I'm a fan of them. You can get a lot of the benefits, like I said, for a little bit less money. But one of the things that I think is great is actually that built-in kind of plug-in battery pack, so you don't have to change batteries. It's very convenient. It's a very cool feature. Plus, getting to 6 really easy to understand sounds without having to do too much thinking, I think, is a big advantage as well. So anyway, leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm always happy to read those and hear what you guys are thinking about gear or anything else. I'll do a breakdown and demo of my active pickups that I've been using on my Strat to do all of the music that I've been doing. You can hear this guitar in action, by the way, over at my music channel, youtube.com/zulonline. I just started that up. Bunch of ambient rock, ambient guitar stuff, but you can hear what this guitar really sounds like in action and make a judgment for yourself, as well as like my Strat. Those are the 2 main guitars I've been using for that little project. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you all next time. Have a great one.